Good morning, welcome to this Wednesday live talk. And we're doing the broken heart this week. Yes, and I expect that maybe if you're here, maybe that's your situation. And if it is, I feel for you. I know what you're going through, I've been there. And one of the things that this moment, I hope to bring to you through this moment, is some sense of relief, some sense of hope that you can heal, and some tools to take with you on that journey. So, as I said on Monday, on the Monday talk, I spent quite a long time before I managed to release my ex that had left me. And I went through all the victims and all the rage and all the feeling guilty and completely out of worth. That was not a very good phrasing. Worthless, basically. Unattractive, uninteresting. I was impossible to live with. All these things were sort of clouding my vision, my view, and it took a long time before I could really connect to my own worth, which was last week's topic. And last week I attended a beautiful conference, and it was so in line with that topic as well, because we not only, it was a business workshop for entrepreneurs, and it was not only sort of the practical and technical things of running a business. It was very much the mindset and the worth and what you want to contribute. So this I could never have done until I managed to release the pain. I mean, I started to think about where I wanted to go. I started to dream. Well, the thing I usually dreamt of was the next man, sort of the next relationship, which is fine. If that is what your dream is, it is to have a beautiful relationship. It's beautiful, and you can go there. Eventually, that changed for me, and I started to embrace living life according to what I wanted to contribute, rather than, for me, the case of wanting to find somebody else was to be saved and held and all these beautiful things that a relationship can give. Maybe you don't want to look to be saved, because nobody's going to save you. You can only save yourself. But to be held, to be close to someone, to have a family life, all these things are beautiful, and we long for it, especially when it's been taken away from us. And I want to tell you that you will get through it. And it takes the time it takes for you. Now, if you're fed up, if you're exhausted, or if you don't want to be in this pain, then there are things you can do. I mentioned on Monday the acceptance, accepting your emotions, sitting with them, almost allowing them to overtake you for a little while until they start to release and move through you. Because emotions are motion, energy in motion. And if we pretend we don't have them, if we try to push them away, if we try to ignore them or avoid them, they will become more powerful, actually, because they want to move. This energy wants to move through you. And when you start neglecting it, you start tensing up your body and you start putting it in your body. We need to feel. We need to allow our emotions to move. We need to grieve a loss. We need to feel despair and anger and all this through these processes. So I'm not here to tell you you're not going to do that, ever, because you are. And it's part of your journey. And it's part of this amazing thing, and I can say this now, amazing thing of being human. I couldn't say that before. And maybe you can't feel that now, that being a human being with your experience is an amazing thing. Maybe you're in a place where on the contrary, you feel that being you, or being in your life, or being in your experience, or in your pain is impossible, but it isn't. So that's what I'm here to tell you. And I have not only my own story, I've worked with numerous clients who have been through similar losses, breakups, pain. And once they start to release the ties to the pain, but also to come home and connect to themselves, come closer to their heart and their true value, they start to blossom and they start to create their own lives. And they start to create a life that they want, that they thrive in. And, you know, it takes time to be completely free of that old story that you're letting go of. Some people can let go of it quickly. Most of us can't. But that's fine, because you can still, I'm not saying that you have to eradicate your story. On the contrary, it can be another aspect of your foundation that you're building for your future, for your life. So when I was doing a talk on grief a few weeks ago after I lost my dog, I found this video, and I'll have to post it here in the comments here, because I don't remember her name at the moment, but she talked about not moving from the pain, not letting go of the person as such, but moving forward with the memory, with the grief that evolves into an acknowledgement of the love that you've held for somebody. So eventually this awareness, knowing that you've been in a close relationship, even if it wasn't a very good one, mine wasn't very good, it didn't work very well, but I still honor the time we had and the space we had and this beautiful son we have from it, of course, but not everybody has that either. But the connection we had and the actual commitment I dared to make to somebody else and to a relationship. And that is now with me as part of my foundation, as part of my my guts, my courage to move forward and to thrive and to meet somebody and to build something of my own heart, because I was spending so much time and energy on this relationship, which is beautiful if that's what you want, but the relationship, again, it wasn't really working. So there was a lot of time and energy going into it that wasn't very constructive. It was draining. And now I have this energy, it's mine, and I know where it is now, and I know what it is, so that I can bring it forward into other relationships of all kinds from a different place, from a place of being me, of being valuable, of being strong, of being free, of being lovable. And I'm saying all these, transferring it over to you, because this goes for you as well. No matter how low you might feel because of some sort of situation in your life, some loss or some pain, which is a breakup, which is the topic of this week, you are still extremely valuable. Your worth is unparalleled. We all have our different aspect of the worth, but we all have the same worth, but your unique value is yours. And so one of the things, as I said, was to accept and acknowledge your emotions, acknowledge and accept your way of grieving, of reacting, and acknowledge, even when you do things that aren't very nice in a situation. In a breakup, we can say things that we don't really, we might mean them in the moment, but we don't really want to share those kinds of thoughts. I did it as well, and he did it back to me. And we say and do stupid things that only harm us. Forgive yourself for it, because you're in pain, and we act from pain. And acknowledge that this is your reaction. And maybe eventually you can try now to shift that, and you can write it down in a letter. So that's actually one exercise. Write everything you think, everything you want to say, every anger, everything you want to argue, everything. Write it down, but promise yourself never to send it. Don't write it on an SMS. It's so easy to write a send, or a mail, send. Write it down. Get it through your physical body. Write it all. Get it out. All of it. Write. And when you're done, read it. Or leave it for a while and read it. And when you're ready, burn it. It's your emotions in the moment. They need to come out. You need to express them, but you don't necessarily need to lash out at other people with it. It's your emotions. They're your reactions, your emotions. And even when you think that the other person needs to hear it, maybe not now, maybe not in that way, try to express yourself freely. Because when you do this on the piece of paper for yourself, you can express yourself as freely as you like. You can say anything you want, and as long as you don't send it. Make a pact first, never to send it. And then no matter how much you want, please don't do that. And then when you have that, you've written down all those thoughts, all that pain, all the grieving, you can write for days if you like. Just never send it. And when you're done, you put it away for a little bit, and then you come back and read it. And if you can't bear to read it, you don't have to read it. The main thing is that you burn it, because it's in the past. It's done. Your emotions have been expressed. If you want to read it to learn a bit about what you're expressing, that's a beautiful thing, but maybe it's too difficult. It can trigger things. So the point with this exercise is getting it out and releasing it. And burning it is the main release exercise in this. So that was one exercise that you can try if you're still stuck in this pain, if you're still stuck in this story, if you don't know how to move forward. And whatever, again, if you've lashed out at the person in question, embrace yourself, accept, acknowledge that you've done it, and embrace yourself. It's the main thing through this whole journey, is to find that space where you can actually be compassionate towards yourself. Like you would, as I said on Monday, like you would with a child who's hurting. You would hold that child. You would be there with that child. You might even try to get it to erase it from that child's experience. I wouldn't do that. I would allow the child to react, to grieve, and then move through it while you're sitting there holding the space until that child is ready to move forward. And normally those children who have these, when they're hurt instantly, they have the reaction, they cry, and once they let this through, they shift and they can run off having a great time. We can do that, but we have so much stuff going on in our system that it usually doesn't quite work that way for us. So still, sit with yourself, allow your emotions to flow through, embrace yourself. Imagine you're the child that needs to be held, and hold yourself. You can do it physically with your arms. You can stroke yourself in the face. You can look at yourself in the mirror and feel sorry for that person and send compassion to that person, whatever works for you. You need that compassion from yourself. Yes, from other people. And also, as I said on Monday, if you have some friends, somebody that don't mind listening to you and sharing their thoughts. I had a very wise friend. I have two really good friends that were there for me all the time, and they carried me through it in a beautiful way. But I think also the most powerful moment that I remember, as I mentioned on Monday, was the moment when I could just cry and sob and wail until it was all out of my body while my friend was holding me. And if you don't have a friend like that, you need to do it for yourself. So that was the other one. The third, I think that was two, wasn't it? It was writing, yes, and then emotion. And then the third one is actually to imagine, and this is an exercise, it's a little bit advanced. Now, you might try it and you might not get it, but it doesn't matter. It can still work if you don't quite understand it. And I would close my eyes, and if you're sort of stuck in the sort of history of a relationship or some story, some breakup or some loss, imagine the other person. And imagine that you have connections to this person, because you do. As long as you spend your days thinking about this person or sending angry thoughts or longing or whatever, you're connecting yourself to that person. And that other person's probably doing similar things to you still, as long as you're not released. So these connections, in my world, we call them energy cords. and they're invisible connections, if you like. They're ties, they're energetic ties that we have to each other. It's different from the open flow of love. That's not a tie, that's a gift. It's a flow. It's a meeting. It's a giving and receiving, open, unconditional, which very often lies beyond. If you have children, you will probably experience it with your child. But a lot of us confuse this unconditional love because we have all sorts of other mechanisms. And these confusions, this anger, this pain, this longing, this is what we call discords or energy cords to the other person. And this can be released. And there's an exercise that I'd like you to play with. Explore it. Try it and see how it works. And even if you don't, as I said, get it, just try it anyway, because it might work. It does usually when you have the intention of doing it. Now, what is it? It is imagining or feeling or sensing, and you can close your eyes if it helps you. Where in the body does that connection sit? Because it's usually stuck in somebody. Somebody I can feel has a connection to somebody in their left arm. I usually pick up on things like that. So somebody here has that. Either somebody watching or somebody watching later. But feel where's this person, and if there are several people that you're sort of confused with, you don't know, if you're in chaos, choose one person that you're connected to, that you're thinking about, that you're maybe angry with, that you're in pain from, and imagine where in your body these cords. You can imagine them as strings, or as light rays, or as strings with hooks. I often see them as sort of fishing lines with hooks that hook onto you, and it can be painful, feel painful. So where is this? Some people in the backbone, somebody in the heart area, but also somebody in the right side of the chest, I feel, and somebody maybe in the hips, the back of your neck. Some people maybe even have it into your heart, a heart center, wherever. Just pretend, if you can't see anything, just pretend you know. Just go with the first thought that comes to you, or just choose some part of the body. And then you can imagine or pretend or think or put the intention that you either cut those cords from you, not from the other person, from your body, from your energy, or you burn it, or you release it, you lift it out and let it go so that the other person can find their way of healing that cord. It's a very efficient, a little advanced exercise, but I invite you to try it, and it can be very powerful if you really try it. And sometimes though, when this happens, if you've got a discord or a cord that's been connected to somebody for a long time, that person might try to hook onto you again, or you might do it again. It's like neurology, it's sort of neuron paths in your brain with thought patterns that keep repeating themselves, and they become so ingrained that shifting them can be a little tricky in the beginning. You keep coming back to it. But you can change create new thought patterns in your brain. It's the same. When you release this, it can feel suddenly different, or maybe you can feel some goosebumps, or feel a little cold because it feels lighter. Your body's releasing some heavy stuff it's been holding on to. And you might want to try and find that emotion, that feeling again. And do it again then. If you feel that it's connected, if your thoughts go there again, try it again. Until your body gets used to it, until you get used to it, and until the other person gets it, that you've actually released something. That other person might feel confused, might try to lash back at you, or they might feel relieved. They might get that something's shifted and maybe finally let go of whatever it is, animosity or conflict, whatever. There are all kinds of ways this can evolve, but it does affect the other person as well. So that's actually the most powerful exercise that I was going to give you today. So the first one, which one was first? But the first one is you have to accept your emotions, sit with them, allow them to flow through, accept yourself, acknowledge yourself, embrace yourself in the situation, and forgive yourself if you've done bad things because of your pain. Embrace yourself in that too. the other one is writing down everything you want to say to whoever it is you're feeling pain from or trying to release or move away from. Write it down, all that you can think of. You're free to write everything you want, just do not send it. Make sure you decide not to send it. Rather than sending it, you either keep it for a while until you want to look at it and see if there's something you can understand from it, or you want to burn it. You might even want to burn it right away. That was the second one. And the third one is feeling and sensing where in the body is this person or this relationship or this pain stuck? Where is it attached through cords? And then imagine that you can release them, pick them off, cut them, burn them, whatever comes to you. And then you can shake your body a bit and feel if you can let them go completely. Okay, my dears, that was it for now. I'm going to do a little breathing and centering exercise and connect you to your heart. So if you want to close your eyes, you can. You don't have to. It might help. And what you do is, I'll just explain a little bit first again, because yes, we can have these discords. We can also send our own energy out to somebody. So that can be part of the cords as well. But when you are with somebody all the time, such as after a breakup that you cannot release, you send your whole energy there. Maybe you send all your thoughts to the past, maybe to the pain of not experiencing that future, or maybe to the dream of the future. In these breaths that we're going to do now, you want to gather this energy. So you can imagine that you're pulling your energy in, you're gathering yourself together. Pull yourself together, they say in English. So with the first breath, imagine that you have this energy, this entity that's yours, your energy. And don't worry, you won't, with your attention of attracting your own energy, you won't attract everybody else's. This is the whole point here. Breathe in everything that's yours into the center of your body. And as you breathe out, feel how you can bring all that energy, anchor it down into your hips, so that you're into your foundation, your base. Another inhale. Breathe in whatever else is out there that's yours. Center it, bring it into the center of your body and bring it down into your hips, anchoring yourself in your own self. And the final breath, whatever is left out there, you don't need to know where it is, just imagine that you're pulling yourself together from wherever it is, pulling everything that's yours, everything that's you into yourself, centering yourself, bringing it into the center of your heart. And as you breathe out, down into your hip area. And imagine that you can send some of that beautiful energy down through your legs and ground yourself down through your feet into the ground, connecting to Mother Earth, receiving her beautiful healing power, her beautiful strength, her beautiful caring energy, creation. See if you can bring your energy, these roots, even further down into the ground. Maybe you can imagine going all the way down to the center of the earth, touching the power of Mother Earth. And then bring your attention back to the center of your heart center. And bring thanks to yourself for being you, for being here, for acknowledging what you're going through, for accepting what you're going through and how you're doing it, for embracing yourself in this journey of healing. And gratitude, allow this gratitude to expand as much as you can from the heart center of your heart, or your heart center, out through your whole body, and just allow it like a big sunshine. Allow the rays to flow through your body. Remind yourself that you are worthy. Yeah. And that was it for today. I do hope that you find your way, or I know you'll find your way through whatever it is you're going through. And I hope you manage to embrace yourself as you do. Take care. Have a beautiful day. Many blessings. Bye-bye.